Welcome to Grapes and Debates, a podcast where we'll uncork some incredible wine and debate varietals of issues within the restaurant industry, one glass at a time. And now, your hosts and owners of SoNapa Grille.
I'm Adam Barringer here with my business partner, Joe Bates.
Hi, everybody.
We've got Tony Granata from Implicit Wines and Steve Gage representing Parallel Wines. Welcome, guys.
Hello. Thanks for having us.
Thanks very much.
Well, I'd say that our relationship started probably 2 or 3 years ago. You guys would ship some of your wines into the state. Some of your wine club members would show up, and we would do dinner while you guys talked about the wines. And that led us here to today.
SoNapa is what brought Implicit to Florida. So we have a very strong affinity towards
Well, that's
what
awesome.
you guys
Well,
have
cool.
going
Thank
on.
you.
Awesome restaurant.
And to put Joe on the spot, Joe is what put our wine dinners on the map.
Yeah.
Because some friends brought me in, if you recall, on my birthday. And on
Right.
Friday night, he said, could we do a 12 top with no reservation?
Right.
And somehow you made it work.
Yeah.
And
We had to get a little
You know,
creative. And
after
then I
a
think
little-
we did finally get you all together.
oh,
at
yeah,
one point.
yeah. And then after a little extra birthday juice, I declared this food's as good as Napa.
Oh,
And,
thank you.
And I should do an event here. And you said, yeah.
That's where it all
Call
started.
me. And
Yeah, that's where it all
I
started.
think we've done 9.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's awesome.
It is.
Good
Home away
times.
from home.
Home
So
away
thank
from
you.
home.
I'll tell you.
Well, great. And tonight, we're very excited because tonight we're here in New Smyrna Beach and we're doing something that's called Wine with the Owner. And it's something that we put on, essentially, we want our guests to experience what we experience. And Wine with the Owner is typically when, let's say one of our sales reps comes in and says, hey, I want to try you on this lineup of wine, or I want to try you on, it could be a winemaker in town or a winery representative, and they might try us on 5, 6, 7 different wines. And for us to take that very casual, very informal, and to allow our guests to try through 5 or 6 wines. And that's why it's so perfect that you guys are in town showcasing your wines. And it's an intimate setting for us. I think we have 16 people here at in New Smyrna, and then tomorrow we're doing the same thing. And again, I think tomorrow it's 13 people plus the 4 of us.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's going to be a lot of fun. What wine should we start with? Because we have to get wine in our glass.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's the first part of Grapes and Debates.
We'll start with the
with
cuties.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
So who's going to pour?
Joe's really good at pouring. Tony, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about Implicit Wines?
Happy to do so. Implicit was founded in 2017 with 3 couples from Northeast Ohio. We all live in the Akron area, and 2 of the 3 of us still live there. So that's an interesting thing with going out to Napa back and forth. One of my other business partners, he and his wife retired from their day-to-day career in Ohio and went down to South Carolina for their permanent residence at this point. So they're still involved, but they're just not as close to us.
Okay.
And when we started, this was something that none of us were looking to do. But I received a phone call out of the blue from a friend in the industry, and he set the barriers to entry so low that we had to say yes, because I always say everybody in their life knows somebody, or they were presented the opportunity that they said no to, and they kicked themselves the rest of their life.
Right.
I wasn't going to let that happen. My family has a story like that as well. I mean, everything is good, but then through trials and tribulations, we had our ups and we had our downs. We started in Knights Valley with that vineyard source that was sold to Peter Michael, which just shows you the pedigree of what we were doing in Knights Valley. But in 20, we moved over to the Napa Valley side. We wanted to do a Napa Valley winery, and we lost all the cab to the fire. In 2021, Curt, Venge, probably one of the top winemakers in Napa. Well, you know, that's who we're dealing with. Your winery with Philippe Melka is phenomenal. Curt has taken us to an elevation that we could never have thought for. We grew our brand. We're still only 650 cases total.
Okay.
So these wines that we're drinking, like this Acuity that we opened, it's 115 or 118 cases. So super, super small. If you're drinking this, you're either with us or you're with the restaurant that we want to have it.
Okay.
But this is our Rutherford cab. And what we've done starting this winery is we were collectors first, and we still are. We love wine, but we want to maintain approachability in prices. And I understand that when I say that, when our wines are between $65 and $145 a bottle, that's still very expensive. It's not a, for lack of comparison, grocery store shelf wine. We are a boutique winery, but yet I want these wines to go against any Napa Valley winery at prices 2 to 3 times as high. I have a couple wines that aren't shown here right now because of table size, but we have a wine called Innuendo that I am so proud of. It's what we set out to do. It's a $75 retail cab that always gets 93, 94 points, which that's unheard of in Napa. But this Acuity, 100% AVA in the Rutherford region, 2 different vineyards in there that are blended in. And this one, this is 2022. It's very young, but yet it's approachable because it's Rutherford. And, you know, obviously it's got the stuffing to lay down, but also go a long time.
Awesome. So, from Ohio, making wines in Napa. That's pretty cool.
It is very cool. You know, unfortunately, I have to leave the cold of Northeast Ohio and go to California every once in a while, come down to Florida to talk to you guys and show the wines.
Perfect.
Tough life that somebody has to
Yeah,
do.
that's great. That's great. That's great.
How often are you on the property?
Out in Napa, I'm out there 4 to 6 times a year. A lot of times it's power trips, you know, 2 to 4 days at a time. Fly in, do what you have to do, get home. I've got a beautiful wife and 2 young kids, 9 and 6 at home. Miss them already. But it's part of the job. And I have a business partner. One of the business partners, he's also an owner of another winery as well, which creates a great synergy. But he's also out there 4 to 8 times a year. So we can ham and egg it a little bit and get things done.
Good. Good. So the Acuity Rutherford designation, what does Rutherford dust mean to you?
Yeah, well, you're putting me on the spot because everybody's definition of Rutherford dust, you either pick it up or you don't. I just think it creates a really elegant finish.
Okay.
Because when we blend our wines, we do it 3 times for every vintage, where you get the initial, then you do this. We blend it with all the partners plus Curt and sometimes his right hand. Her name's Jade. She's phenomenal. And we always say that it has to get 4 or 5 thumbs up to go to the next stage.
Okay.
And so for us, when we're blending this one, we want that balance. We want not only the powerful mouthfeel from front to mid palate, but if you don't have a great finish, which is what Rutherford is known for, where there is a little bit of dryness on the finish, hence the Rutherford dust, you're not making a great wine because it's lacking completeness, and that's what we want to go for. So it makes it easy. You're gonna drip on the label. That's tree-free cotton paper, so it doesn't absorb.
Okay.
I'm really delicate with that. So anyway, that's my definition. It creates one of the best finishes in the valley.
I got to tell you that this is, it's opening up in the glass. For me, it was a little bit tight at first, and now it's opening up beautifully. But I do get that little bit of what you consider Rutherford dust on the back, and man, this I think is an elegant wine.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah,
We're drinking fantastic right now.
we just opened these up about 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So this should have been what I've been doing with it. See, you see that streak down there?
Oh yeah.
What I've been doing, drinking it home, sharing it with friends, is the night before I'll actually put it in the decanter and then funnel it back in and then cork it. So it gets a little bit of oxygen, but it slowly oxidizes over 24 hours. And when you're ready to go the next day, it is singing.
Huh. That's awesome.
Well, something to be proud of.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, to be asked to be part of something making wine. Obviously, I love wine and I'm passionate about it. It's just, that's a cool story.
Yeah,
that's a cool story.
I'm proud to share it. And the toughest thing about our industry right now is not making great wine. It's about getting the wine in front of people.
Yeah.
And when we do, both of our wineries, we respect each other. We work together a lot. The wines speak for themselves. People are often wowed by what's in the glass.
So you've got some names for your wines: Innuendo, Acuity, Privity, Unprecedented avidity.
Correct.
Where are those names coming from?
Well, we always say that we wanted to pass the golf course test, which means you can remember it, you can tell it to somebody, you know how to spell it. Some are more fun than others.
I'm not sure I could spell much of those.
Well, the biggest one is implicit.
Okay,
Obviously,
I
if
got
you just
that.
say implicit, that's good. But implicit, clearly understood without being explicitly defined. We wanted the bottle to be regal, so if you look at it, you can just know inside what's there. And innuendo is really cool because it's the first time we made the wine, not going a long story, but we made it for the owners. We made 27 cases of it. We shipped it home for the three of us to split evenly. And the first bottle we drank, we just went silent. And there was some colorful language being used to describe it. And Ed, my one partner, goes, "This wine is sexy." Hence innuendo.
Okay.
And the tagline is, everybody needs some innuendo in their life from time to time.
Okay.
And when you drink a couple bottles of, sometimes things start to flow out of your mouth, and it's just, it's fun. But Privity is what I'm going to go to next, just because Privity is our flagship wine. It's the one wine we started off with. And we did 112 cases of it in 17. Now we're up, this vintage is 118. We made as much as 172. But Privity is a legal term. I did go to law school, never practiced, so nobody has to be mad at me. I did to run a business better. But it's a direct connection between two people in a mutual agreement. You have privity of contracts. We're playing on that, where if you buy privity, if you share privity, if we talk about privity, we have privity of wine. And this is the wine that we blend for our own palates as owners, but yet we want to share with everybody. And on the back of every single bottle, our motto is a Latin phrase that translates to friendship discovered in wine. And so that's all embodied in this, and that's where Privity came in, and that was the biggest one. Now, I could go into unprecedented, I don't want to take too much time, but in 2020...
What's the Latin phrase?
Amicitia inventus est in vinum.
Okay.
Close enough. All you Latin scholars, I never took Latin, so I'm just going with, what Google tells me. But unprecedented in 2020 was the word of the year during the pandemic. And every other time you turn around, you heard unprecedented. Now, all of our names have federal trademarks, which is exceptionally difficult to do in the wine industry because all the names are already taken.
Okay.
But it was open. And so we trademarked it, and we came out with this beautiful black label wine with gold foil on it to distinguish itself. But to do something unprecedented, you have to do one of two things. You either have to do something very, very exceptionally well, or the opposite, you do something very, very stupid.
Right.
And in 2019, we accomplished both.
Okay.
Because we made a fantastic wine, but we produced 12 cases of it for commercial sale. And right off the rip, the three of us took a case each. So we only had 9 cases of this wine for sale. Now we do one full barrel, 25 cases, but it's not your best barrel. We actually do a fractional selection where we blend out of different barrels up to one barrel. So this is a pretty limited wine.
Okay. That's a cool story. I can't wait to get into those later tonight. And Steve.
And these score
go ahead.
typically in the high 90s from what I'm seeing, mid to high 90s all the time. So
they are in the mid 90s. I'm one of the guys that will say I love the scores for a benchmark, but I don't really pay attention to the scores.
we agree.
I actually like your rating that I've been watching on the
Right.
podcast.
And I will tell you,
TFS.
TFS.
Right off the
It's the
bat.
fucking
right
shit.
off the bat.
First bottle.
Mimi. Mimi.
Yeah. Sorry, Mimi.
Yeah.
Mimi doesn't like it when we curse.
No, that's okay. It's okay. This is
Yeah,
it
really is
the fucking
fantastic.
shit. Yeah.
Beautiful.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
it's
is.
fantastic.
I'm glad you grabbed that bottle like it was yours and poured some more.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
If I'm in Napa, where can I find you? Where can I find these wines?
So we are making wines at a shared facility. So we're at a custom crush in St. Helena,
Yeah.
beautiful facility. In
That's
the
pretty
cave.
common, right?
It's very common because we actually want to eventually make money doing this one day.
Yeah.
And there's no way we could go buy a vineyard
Right.
property or site and spend millions upon millions of
Yeah.
dollars and make 650 cases a year and actually turn that into profit.
Yeah.
Right.
But we do taste. We have the privilege of hosting people in the cave by
Oh,
equipment
okay.
only. But out there, I would love to do it at SoNapa. There's a restaurant called Farmstead. It's a farm to table. We have an incredible lunch and dinner pairing experience.
Okay.
It's $150 for lunch plus tax, all in. You get all the wines. And Steve and I developed it together. Steve's helped us out the last couple of years. We can get into that later.
It was a rough go. We had to taste everything on the menu and drink all the wines.
You can tell that we did a very good job at that.
It took hours, actually.
Yeah, hours.
The biggest thing that I told Steve is there are so many wineries when I was a consumer and collector that when you did the food pairing experience, they gave you a spoon with a couple bites and then a sample pour. With our entire friendship discovered through wine, breaking bread, meeting each other, said no way. So our meals serve family style. We have 3 courses with at least two different items for each course. If you leave hungry, it's your own fault.
Right.
Okay. Well, we're going to have to look into that when we have the leadership team out there.
For sure.
Okay.
For sure, that'll be great.
Sounds like I might be on a flight.
Yeah, you have to be.
Yeah.
I'll give you the dates.
Okay, we'll talk.
Okay, perfect.
All right, but last question before we move on. What are ND corks?
ND
And
Tech
what-
corks.
ND Tech
Yeah,
corks.
so I'm actually really happy that
Why are they important to you?
they let me sleep at night with complete peace.
Okay.
This is ND Tech cork. So each one of our corks, some wineries take it off. We don't because we want to show people. There's a serial number on it right there.
Okay.
So every single cork goes through its own gas chromatography test. That's a fancy word for somebody doing very special things to make sure that it does not have a detectable level of TCA, which is what causes the
Taint.
cork taint. Thank you.
You just like saying taint.
Yeah.
There's a lot
I was being delicate.
There's a lot of things I'd like to say.
So
Is it an innuendo?
it is an innuendo. That is. Well done. Well played.
What? Look at you.
So, natural corks in the industry, about 5% of them are tainted with this chemical. And that makes the wine not unsafe to drink, but just not satisfactory, where it almost smells like wet newspaper, wet dog.
Wet dog.
And once you understand what it is, you pick it up like that. In thousands of cases since 2017, I have personally discovered 2 cork bottles out of all the ones we made. And they were not bad, they were just a little bit off because there's what we call a silent killer where you can't pick it up on a test, but yet it's just off, you know your stuff. So these are probably 7 to 8 times more expensive than
I was
the
gonna
corks that you
ask.
could buy.
But it saves you in the long run.
It saves me so much
Yeah.
money.
Well, that's neat. ND Tech?
ND Tech by a warm cork.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, they're great.
Very cool.
And they're great to work with too, because sometimes when you're running a business, you forget to order your supplies. You're like, hey, I need these real quick. I got you covered.
Oh, that's cool. That's good. That's
Awesome.
good.
Thanks so much for sharing.
And Steve, Parallel Wines.
Parallel Wines.
Man,
Yeah.
I know. Well, we have had Implicit before because we've done a few dinners. Never had Parallel, never heard about Parallel, but obviously your pedigree and the wines that you've represented and the fact that it's Philippe
Melka.
and he has produced a lot of 100-point wines.
Yeah, in fact, I believe he has more 100-point scores than any other winemaker in at least in California.
Okay.
Wow, really?
Oh, yeah,
Possibly
he is,
globally. Certainly in the top 2 or 3.
Okay.
And yet he's still humble and lovely.
Yeah.
So if he's listening,
Well, and those type of people
Christmas
typically
is
are.
coming.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't be a great winemaker and not be thoughtful.
Sure.
Right.
You know, there's some ego in the business, but
Sure.
generally you have to be a pretty good, solid person.
Where was he before Parallel?
So
He
he's
has,
all over the place.
yeah,
And
he
he probably still is, right?
yeah,
He's
he has the Italian
consulting.
Melka, which is a consulting group. But we were actually his first client when he
Okay.
started his consulting business.
Okay.
And that was 27 years ago.
Wow.
So it's rare in our business to keep a winemaker that long, but when you taste the wines, you'll know. We're not trying to fix it. It's
No.
perfect.
Right.
So
Wow. Did
Well,
you hear that?
Maybe we need it in the
Wait,
glass.
wait.
maybe we should try it.
Yes,
Maybe we
maybe
should
we
try it.
should.
All right.
All right, you want to give me a glass there, Joe? And
So the name Parallel.
Sure. The story is basically coming from the owner's love of skiing.
Okay.
And apparently when you ski, you're supposed to keep them parallel.
Okay.
That's why I don't ski any longer.
great.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to keep them like this?
No. I made
Pizza?
a great snowball going down
make
the
the pizza.
hill. So I'll tell you about the wine in a minute. But
Okay.
So the backstory is there were 4 couples from Park City, Utah. They were there in the early 70s and helped develop Park City. They were all wine lovers, hence they were on a parallel course in life, if you will.
Okay.
And they would come to Napa on a regular basis. And this is a story that has been repeated a number of times with a lot of different brands. Don't make business decisions in Napa. Because one fateful trip after perhaps a little Cabernet, they ended up in escrow to buy a vineyard. Oops. It happens. And then they were managing the vineyard from Park City. The owners still lived there full time. And they realized they needed a winemaker. Philippe Melka happened to be available.
Wow.
They're still dear friends and still in business 27 years later. We've grown to a whopping great 1,000 cases a year. Just not a whole lot.
Is that on purpose?
Yeah. We want to make great wine.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's the end all. And at this level, we can make great wine. It's not always scalable. I mean, there's certainly, you serve some great wines in the restaurant, and it's an example of wineries that have scaled and kept quality. But this is a sweet spot for us.
Okay.
And we really make just a couple wines. Cabernet Sauvignon is at the core. If you've got Philippe in charge of the winemaking, it's a pretty good place to focus. A couple years into the project, we started making Chardonnay. A little unusual when you have a Bordeaux winemaker and you ask them to make a Burgundian grape. Met with a little tension, I understand.
Okay.
But what we ended up with is a beautiful, bright, crisp style of Chardonnay that maybe leans a little to more like a Burgundy.
Okay.
And then just last year, we started making a rosé from Rutherford. A very interesting, purposeful rosé, early picking the grapes, keeping the acidity high. But Cabernet's at the core of what we do. Now,
And where are you sourcing the cab from?
so we get the Cabernet is
cab.
mostly St. Helena and Oakville.
Okay.
We never vineyard designate or even put an appellation on the bottle. We want flexibility. We know we're only going to make 2 Cabernets a year. So we blend, figure out which ones are going to go to the reserve program, and then which are going to go into the Napa Cabernet. So today we're going
On
to
the
try
reserve,
reserve.
you don't put even Napa on there?
It does say Napa
It
Valley.
does say Napa Valley, but it doesn't
But
say.
it doesn't say
it's
which
not
vineyard.
AVA specific.
Correct. And kind of a fun little fact, because we were founded on skiing as sort of one of the principles of the brand, every reserve vintage is named for a ski run.
Okay.
So I brought you the Paradise today.
Okay.
Which is fun. This is our 2014 reserve. So we'll have a little age on it. So it's quite a contest. Our wine club members submit their ideas, write a little essay on why their name is the best. And of course, the winner gets a 3-liter bottle etched and signed.
Oh, very cool.
You know, we throw a big party.
Where does Paradise come from? Which
Paradise,
which one is that?
You've got to read the really fine print back here. So that is actually in Vermont. But we've featured runs from all over, from Utah, from California.
Very cool.
And our reserve wines are called the Black Diamond series. And if you're skiers at all, the Black Diamond runs are the ones that you really shouldn't go down.
I know where they are.
Yeah.
That's
I used to ski those.
yeah.
And we have a couple of friends that live out in Park City. In fact, one of the gentlemen that we share the office with has a place out in Park City.
Well, we throw quite a harvest party out there.
Do you really?
Oh, yeah. You should come out.
Okay.
That's
an invitation.
What's that?
Jim Salmon. We are on the way.
We're coming to the house.
Don, we're coming.
Hey, what are the dates? You gotta tell the dates.
Yeah, I should know the date, shouldn't I? Yeah. Throw me under the bus
Everything
there,
else has been
Tony.
so eloquent. It's been gorgeous, but
We have it on the website, Tony.
that's all you need. To say.
Okay.
That's all you need to say.
So I thought it'd be fun to bring an older vintage for you, just because, when you talk to wine reps, they say, oh, buy my current vintage, buy a lot of it, and trust me, it's going to age.
Right.
And that might be true, or they might be on commission. We always, with our tastings, pour an older vintage. We're very fortunate that we have a library that goes back. And it really shows, it's a testament to Philippe Melka.
What's the vintage year?
2014.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
You would know it.
It's still got great structure. It's still got great depth. It could lay down for another 10 years.
I mean, I think he builds wines that his grandkids are going to enjoy.
Yeah.
That's the idea. Now, if you like younger wines, I have younger wines.
Right.
We'll sell you younger wines.
That's drinking greatly.
I really love younger wines. That's my palate. This, to me, is a sexy wine. This is just, it's...
Yeah, there's something beautiful in here.
Sexy.
Sexy.
We've said it twice now.
Sexy.
No more innuendo.
No innuendos.
No
That's a lot of sexy
No,
in
we're
one
just
room.
gonna-
It is. It really
Just gonna
is.
Put it out there.
Yeah.
Wow, that's fantastic.
And Steve, how did you get into wine? You're in Napa Valley, and I got a really cool story to tell after you tell that.
Okay. I grew up in the Bay Area, now known as Silicon Valley. Most of my friends got into tech. I ran restaurants. Not sexy, by the way.
I don't
And
know, maybe sexy.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
my proximity to Napa was pretty close, and I would go up with friends. We'd get into all kinds of trouble. Rent a big car, go up, hit every winery we could. You know the story. Then as I got perhaps just slightly more mature, I realized that Napa was a great place to date people. Take a date. Who doesn't want to have a picnic in a vineyard?
Right.
A lot of fun. So we would go up to Napa quite a bit. And then I just decided I'm going to live here. I sold my restaurant, moved to Napa, and then figured I needed a job. And it was a pretty easy transition from restaurants to winery operations. So I've been in the wine business almost 30 years.
What was your first gig?
First gig was running Minor Family Vineyards.
Okay.
Ran the tasting room there. I learned a lot.
Yeah.
Had a lot of fun. In my very first conversation with Dave Minor, he said, "Run it like it's your business." I said, "Oh, well, I just sold a business. Okay."
Yeah.
And then I think we had a meeting about 2 years later. How's everything going? We saw each other every day, but an official meeting.
Right.
And I thought, this is kind of fun. And it was at that time when Napa tourism was really just skyrocketing. Wine education was kind of new. You know, people would come up, you'd get a tiny little glass and try 4 or 5 wines. And at that time, I was an advocate for Riedel glasses. And I almost had a walkout when I told my crew we were going to go from 1 glass to 5 glasses for every tasting. Yeah, we went through a lot of glasses. But it was fun. Consumers were looking for information. I think now the wine drinking community is so much more educated that now we want experience. We want the fancy foods and all that.
Well, I want to kind of talk about that glass thing for a minute.
Let's talk about it with a little
More.
revisit.
Yeah.
You're revisiting already?
Let's revisit.
I don't want you sleeping at the wine with the owner.
It's more reaffirmation.
This means more wine for you, Adam.
That's true. When I first started going out to Napa, to your point,
Oh.
it didn't matter. I'm just going to throw a few names. Go out there, go to Silver Oak, give you 1 glass, you go through and you taste the wines that they have there for you to taste. And maybe Silver Oak's not a great example because you taste 2 wines when you're there. Or it didn't matter what winery we went to, you get 1 glass, they poured through the whole lineup in that 1 glass. So when we came back, I felt very comfortable having 1 glass in our restaurant, not a red, not a white, just 1 glass, because that's what I experienced in Napa and Sonoma. And I think that as a whole, they are getting away from that. More as an experience, you're going to have
The
your
big
white wines
bottle
and
glass with
yeah.
tabs and the different shape glass for Pinot and
Because I don't think there's very few places that you go, and I mean, I'm sure tasting rooms could possibly be different in downtown Napa, but when you go to you have to have a reservation to go to most tastings now, and usually it's an experience, and so a lot of them are pairing with food, so it's a little bit elevated from where it was a
Absolutely.
decade ago.
we've talked about it on the podcast several times, but what do you guys feel about the 15 different shaped glasses for every grape varietal?
Because I drink,
Like, is it a little over?
I could drink this out of a solo cup and still appreciate it,
Right.
but now,
Because if you go to Europe, you almost don't see wine glasses. Everything's out of a water glass.
Right.
So
There's a lot of science behind it. Well, you know, I'm a little biased.
okay,
No, go ahead.
I spent quite a number of years supporting the Riedel company.
Yes.
I threw you a lob.
And it absolutely does make a difference.
yes,
Now, from a restaurant standpoint, it's not practical to have 15 different glasses.
correct.
And never mind the training to know when to use each of those 15
Right.
glasses. But in a nice, elegant setting, I can really show off wine using the right glassware.
Yes.
I agree with you. The glassware is super important, but I am different from Steve. We tested a lot of glasses and we use multiple stems for each guest in our tasting experiences, but they are all the same stem. Because right now there's a huge push to finding the perfect glassware that's universal. And we feel that the Gabriel glass, Jonah runs the company. They were Australian crystal. He acquired it with distribution connections to Ohio.
Joe, write this down.
Oh, we'll talk about it.
Okay.
Gabriel glass is gorgeous. They have two different levels. They have one that's great for us, which is a machine blown. It's called their standard collection. And then they also have a mouth blown, which is light as a feather. We could never use that in the tasting room.
Right.
But because they would constantly be broken. But every single wine dinner that I do for charities back at home, they show the wine so well, and it teaches people that if you get one glass for your own personal cellar, you don't have to buy all these. Now, I have dozens and dozens of Riedels, but I use those so infrequently now because of the Gabriel.
Wow.
And when we do tastings, people go, "Where do I get these?" I'm like, well, I can just point you over there.
Right.
Well, you're going to have to. We have a couple that we're going to have that we're going to be tasting with tomorrow, the McDonald's, and they swear by it. They are self-proclaimed wine glass snobs, and they are the coolest people. Obviously,
They're the coolest people,
Yeah.
and they have fun with us. But
they do.
They're going to be at the tasting?
They
Tomorrow.
realize, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, good.
They'll be
Can
there
they
tomorrow.
bring a glass for me?
I actually have some. I have special glasses specifically for them.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
We'll continue
And
that.
I don't know if
will.
it's Riedel, but it's a nicer glass.
It's a thin.
It's an upgrade
thin
from
lip
this.
and little wider bowl.
But yeah,
It is-
and for
it's nice.
us, we are so busy that we found this to be the
Well, you've got to have
glass-
balance in the restaurant.
Right.
Yeah.
It doesn't break and
nice
it's still
and
elegant.
it'll go through the
Well,
dishwasher.
and all the dinners we've done
and not come out.
You know, I look out and there's 300 stems
Sure.
Yeah. Yes.
lined up ready for all the wines we're
Right.
bringing. That's not practical.
You can't
if they're
do that
breakable.
with Riedel.
Yeah.
You know, there's something in my notes here, and maybe you can expand on this a little bit, but Parallel Wines have a strong philanthropic focus, and
Indeed.
they give back a lot to charities and the community.
Yeah, so the ownership group did quite well in real estate, and
Okay.
they're all very successful independently. When they started the wine brand, one of the key factors was to have fun. If you're a skier, it's fun.
Yes.
Drinking wine, it's okay to have fun. You know, Tony will tell you, we spend a lot of money to get great wine in the bottle,
Yep.
and that's very serious, not very fun. But once the cork comes out, we're enjoying this.
Mhm.
So they want to keep that as sort of a paramount focus. But also, they were very fortunate, and they want to give back to the community. So a lot of like disabled sports programs. We participate in an event called Red, White, and Snow coming up in March, which is basically a bunch of snow and red wine
Yeah.
Wow.
and like-minded people, and it's a beautiful event.
Yeah, very cool. And if you can give back,
Yeah, I mean, we're all fortunate. We're sitting
Right.
here talking about wine.
yeah,
There are many less fortunate. So
Sure.
it certainly doesn't hurt.
I mean, think about all the shitty podcasts that don't talk about wine, and they could be talking about Ukraine right now, or they could be talking about tariffs, right?
right.
How much fun was that?
Not fun.
No,
Don't
no,
bring it up.
This is much funner.
Yeah,
We solve the world's problems with wine anyway, so we're good.
yeah, and we haven't put it out yet, but each year we do a President's Day wine dinner, and the one thing that all presidents, dating back, I don't know when it started, but certainly in the early history of the United States, they have all had wine. It's something that's universal. And I think it was back right about Nixon had served Schramsberg at some kind of peace accord. And ever since then, Schramsberg has been a mainstay for sparkling at the White House. And I think since Ronald Reagan was president, ever since then, it's almost been predominantly California wines that have been served at the White House. So Democrat, Republican,
Yep.
boom,
Yeah, when it comes to wine,
Together.
wine.
we're all on the same team.
Yeah.
We
I
are.
actually had the pleasure of doing a tasting with the wine steward from the White House,
Did you
a
really?
gentleman named Daniel Shanks. And he was very proud to tell me he worked for the presidency, not the president.
Okay.
Excuse me. It was during a transition that was very challenging, shall we say.
They probably all are.
Yeah,
To a certain degree, and perhaps
Staff.
it's gotten more challenging recently, but that's kind of good to say you work for the presidency.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he would always curate the menus and the wines. If he had a guest coming in from, I don't know, Alaska, he would serve Alaskan salmon with a California Chardonnay.
Wow.
If it was the president of Mexico, he got wine that was a Mexican winemaker.
Okay.
And, very thoughtful. And
Do you
it was just
think-
interesting
so
to hear the approach.
instead of it being, let's say, Alaskan salmon, do you think it would be a burrito
I don't know.
or chimichurri?
That's a hard wine pairing.
That is.
I called him one day just to confirm an appointment. I said, "What are you doing today?" He said, "I'm tasting through all the champagnes to make sure they're good in the presidential cellar."
Wow.
I thought I had a great job.
Right.
But that's
How do you get
next
that
level.
job?
How do you get that gig?
I don't think
know.
we couldn't pass security clearance.
No. No.
There are probably some standards
There
to which
probably
I
are.
cannot hold myself.
Well, I thought this is a cool story that I just want to say. I was on the phone with Steve, and we were talking about the tasting, and it's got to be about 5 weeks ago. And you just asked me, okay, how many people are we going to have? How are we going to do this? Kind of the logistics. And I said, oh, by the way, I'm going to be bringing our team to Napa. I also want to bring some of our wine club members. And I'm looking at a couple of different places. And I'm looking at this place called the Wineway Inn. And literally, Steve's like, I'm going to pass that. In fact, I'm passing it right now. Let me send you a picture of the Wineway Inn. And then we kind of talked about it. He also said, you really should stay in downtown Napa because there's more to do. And I'm like, yeah, but it's expensive. And to tell you how expensive it is, there's a place called the Hennessy House. Because I live 4 doors down. And it was just like, it was so cool.
awesome.
That's gonna be a big bump.
We're going to see you.
You're going to see me a lot.
We're going
Yes.
to see you a lot. Yeah.
There might be some late night backyard fire pit.
There might be.
That is. Yeah, so May 5th through the 8th, we have our first group of wine club members coming in. And then we have to really hustle to get it clean, reset, because then the 8th through the 11th is the second set of wine club members coming in. And then we have to hustle again. The 11th through the 14th is going to be our culinary team, and they'll be out there. And then from the 15th through the 19th will be our general managers and our partners. So we're going to spend a solid 2 weeks at the Hennessy House, 4 doors down from
4
you.
doors down.
Yes. But if you wouldn't have said that, I would have booked the Wineway Inn and we would have been in Calistoga.
It's a
for 2
lovely
weeks.
place, but I think
Oh,
you're gonna like the location,
Right. We could pretty much walk to just about anywhere.
and you should.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
You can even walk back, which is more
That's
important.
that. It's always good to get there, but it's always better to get back.
Yeah.
So, what's the next 5 years look like for you guys? I mean,
Ooh.
just kind of for your winery, for your wines, and for the industry. We've kind of been talking about, there's more wine than people are buying right now, and it's a little bit tricky. I kind of think it's cyclical, and people aren't going to stop drinking wine. We talked a little bit about this. This may be a little bit bigger than just cyclical. So, what's the next couple of years look like for you guys?
Well, first of all, what's that bank that always puts out a state of the industry report out of Silicon Valley?
Yeah, it was Silicon Valley Bank.
Silicon Valley Bank.
Yeah.
I read an article, and I think that Silicon Valley Bank just put out an article to say that 2026 is kind of going to be a rebound year where it's going to kind of plateau in a sense, which is good news. It's not, you're not going to see the double-digit declines. And it was actually, the articles was written very well and had good things to say about the future of the industry.
I read a similar article where they were expecting 26 or 27 for it to flatten at the bottom, and then it's going to slowly grow up. Now, we're so small, we're so young that I'm still experiencing growth even during this tough time because of the quality of our wines. But right now, as we talked about the last 2 days where we've had a couple of private events in Florida because of people not going to Vegas, people not going to Napa because of the cost. Steve and I and some other good friends in the industry, we're realizing that we have to bring Napa to you. And so, as I talked about, I got choked up. I'm going to be spending a lot more time on the road presenting these wines. And we love private events, 12 to 20 people in someone's home with a private chef, because that's so much more fun for them to have their group of friends.
Mm-hmm.
Great food that they get to control, and wine, but most importantly, they get to see me.
That's
Oh man.
It's
So,
going
yeah,
so well.
Clutch.
absolutely. That's a
clutch.
done deal. I just say, here's the wine, drink them, enjoy them.
that's why he got choked up, spending time with himself and his wine.
So where can they find you on all the socials? I imagine. And,
You know, I'm not
and
good at social. I need to do better at
Okay.
that.
Certainly at your website.
A website, but again, if you call the winery's number, it's going to my cell. So
Right.
I'm going to answer, I'm going to pick up, and that's how we
That's just
operate.
tight knit.
It's all
that's,
people buy from people.
Yeah.
And we have to create the good experience. Being in the with a retail background in upscale clothing, I learned very quickly from those guys that you take care of people and they take care of you. And that's what I'm be doing. I think Parallel, we're 8-9 years into this business. You're 27. You're a little bit more established, but you're going to be doing, I think, very similar things.
Yes, I'll be out on the road quite a bit.
Yeah.
We do have a pretty great website. It's a good social, content. But we have an events page, which is pretty much spelling out the rest of the year. We're going to be everywhere in the country.
Okay.
And like Tony said, we love bringing our wine in. Well, that's how we connected.
Right.
Like, I'm going to bring my stuff to your
Yeah.
place.
Yeah.
And I think it's very parallel with your mission statement, bringing the best of wine country to all parts of Florida. I mean,
Yeah, that's.
I
our
understood
mission,
that
is to
when I
bring
walked in.
Sonoma and Napa
boom.
to our guests.
And
I
the
think
next
we're
time
doing
that you're coming to town, and I don't know when that's going to be, but there's a very good possibility that we're going to have store number 4.
Oh,
Yes.
look forward to
news.
hearing about that.
Yeah. What city?
Daytona Beach Shores.
Nice.
Yeah.
I thought that was a secret.
It's not a secret.
It's out.
I thought we talked about it
All
already.
right. We can edit that, right?
We did.
I can edit it.
Just
for
like
sure.
the taint part.
Yeah,
we
the
can edit
taint.
that. Okay.
Until it stays.
No, the
Burrito.
taint stays.
Burrito.
Burritos. Burrito stand. That was good.
Uh,
That's the reach for mine.
I'll tell you what. I'm looking forward to having a lamb chop while I'm in
Oh,
Jacksonville.
yes. We're going to have it tonight.
The cool thing about
Well, I'm gonna have one in Jacksonville too.
Yes, you are.
Do I look like I can't eat 2 lamb chops?
I don't know that rib you said.
Because I know I can. I know how I look.
Looking better every day, right?
Well, gentlemen, our tagline is Taste Toast Together. It really speaks to what we're doing here, to what your line of wines are, to Parallel Wines.
We wish you guys the best.
Wish you
of
the
luck.
best, and
Absolutely.
anything we can do
We'll
to
support,
partner,
yep.
support, host events, we're here. And we look forward to seeing you guys out in Napa and Park City.
Wine Club.
Cheers.
Wine Club, absolutely. Yeah.
Join Wine Club. if you
Join
want to
the
get
wine
these
club.
wines.
Yeah.
You get discounts, automatic guaranteed allocations. You have the same type of thing.
Absolutely. We have a great allocation list.
Okay.
And I think both of us, real quick on that, we take care of the clients first. We make it easy.
Yeah.
We're 2 shipments a year. You want more, you can buy more.
Right.